This is Dabu 7, and I present to you the real reason and the truth about Michael Hastings and his murder. And it is connected to this brand new prison release, prisoner swap of Bowe Bergdahl, believe it or not. And the proof, as I'm about to show you, speaks for itself. There's no conspiracy, there's no wondering. For those of you that have been following this, and this hits the heart for me. The guy you're looking at right here, Michael Hastings, he put his life on the line. Doing what I'm doing right now. What many of the rest of you out there are doing as well. Reporting the truth. Digging for the truth. No matter what your style is, what you're into, you're out there for knowledge, for truth. And he went deep. He went hard for it. And I think he stumbled upon some information that was deadly, apparently. And he didn't realize that it was so deadly because he didn't realize that it was an orchestration. He didn't realize how big the play is. And now I see it, and I want to share it with you. Because Michael Hastings figured out that Bowe Bergdahl had not only left base once before, but was planning on leaving if the next mission they had turned out to be something he didn't like. He knew all this stuff, and he even was going to go on to state in a report that this was huge, that the American people should not support him. So Michael Hastings reported in Rolling Stone the first known piece, the definitive first account of Bowe Bergdahl. This was Hastings that did this. Okay? He ticked off a lot of powerful people in high places by their own admission. And you can read it all right here. And why? Because of Bergdahl? Of all people? Of all things? If you've been following me, it should all be clicking right now to you. This is how I've perceived this whole thing. This has been a ploy by the Obama administration. This has been designed for a long time. This man was used and went in, and he wasn't mistreated by no means. All of that is theatrics. He was used to go over there and be this linchpin that they can use to pull out and free their top Taliban guys, because that was the biggest problem, getting the top most dangerous guys out of Guantanamo Bay, and they just pulled it off. And in doing so, they're trying to cover the whole thing up right now and make it seem like it's nothing and keep on pushing. No big deal that the top 5 Taliban just walk free. That means anybody else, no one else is on that level. So who's going to argue if he goes to free anyone else? Granted, a lot of them should be free, but still there are prisoners in there that shouldn't, that would get free and kill Americans, because Obama just admitted it himself. He said absolutely they could return to the battlefield and kill or hurt Americans. Came out of his own mouth. So you have to understand what's going on here when I say that this is a world stage in what's taking place here. This is a play on the minds of the people. Michael Hastings, when he came upon this information and he seen that Bowe Bergdahl was astray and he was going to publish all this other information, they said, no you're not. And he never did. And what he would have stated and let everyone know is that this guy was a deserter. And he was planning on deserting. Then, if Michael Hastings would have broke that story, if they would have never killed him and he would have broke that story, it would have blew this whole scheme out of the water that they have had in motion for 5 years now? This is well thought out, well planned, and I've already showed you that every single one of these players are in on it. Bowe Bergdahl was in on it. You can see it in his own actions, every single thing he's done. He was trained for this. His father was in on this. You can see it. Obama, the whole crew, they are in on this. And it's been this way the whole time. And it's been the ploy to free the top guys out of Guantanamo. It was a huge prison break that just took place to see if anyone would say anything. More, and believe this, guys, more people are talking about the fact that Bowe Bergdahl right now is a deserter and a traitor than they are that the top 5 Taliban just walked off. They are jumping for joy over there, celebrating like no other. Why? Because their King Obama just set them free. That's the truth. And what pisses me off is that Michael Hastings died because if he would have put out his knowledge, his information that he had, and he didn't even realize how deadly it was. If he would have published that information, it would have blew this whole operation out of the water, and everything that just took place would have never took place. It could have potentially killed it. And their whole plan that they spent years in the making to get these top Taliban out of there would have been wasted. Do you think they're going to let one reporter or his reporting mess that up? No, they're not. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is a warning to everyone out there listening to me. They're not going to stop with Michael Hastings. Do you hear me? And I feel in my gut one day this may be my demise. But see, I don't care. You see, Michael's legendary. And I'd rather go out the same way that he did. I'm going to keep on grinding for this truth and keep on giving it to you guys, regardless. Somebody's got to keep this torch going. And we've got to be smart about it out here in what we're doing in all aspects. Because as I just showed you, had Michael Hastings had the thought in mind for a notion that there was a bigger operation taking place, that it wasn't just a man deserting, if he would have ever put the puzzle together that this was to free the top guys out of Gitmo. But how would he have ever known that, though? He didn't have all the pieces of the puzzle there. See? If he was alive now, he'd know. I'm letting you all know. That's the truth. I hope the whole world hears it, because I feel like it will set him free. That's no lie. This is Dabu7. I will leave a link in the description box. And we're just getting started. Eyes open.